Hey Geminis, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be taking a look at your August through September, your Lammas through Mabon seasonal reading here. So, in your meditation, it was short but sweet. I saw a whale on a frozen lake, and I saw the whale trying to break through the ice in order to get to the water below. Obviously, whales, belong in the water, ideally, and it was using its nose to kind of break the ice, and it was really having a hard go of it. But then I saw this net sort of descend from the sky and pick up the whale and move it to where it was up in the air with the moon and the stars, and I saw the net sort of fall away, and I saw the whale just happily swimming around the moon and stars, feeling lighter than air, feeling like, it was not in its natural element, traditionally speaking, but it was in its natural element in terms of what felt the best for it, symbolically. Um, what's really interesting about that symbolism is that, breaking through the ice to get to where you think you're meant to be, or having an attitude where, you know, everything has to be challenging in order to work or to, produce anything. And then suddenly this rescue net comes in and takes you somewhere that you never would have thought you'd go, somewhere you might not have chosen for yourself. But it's almost like a really positive deus ex machina just comes in, like a hand of God just comes in and lifts you up to somewhere that you may not have ever imagined yourself being, but that just feels like, oh my gosh, this is not something I would have chosen for myself, but my gosh, does this feel like I'm exactly where I'm meant to be? The moon and the stars up in the air. And what's really interesting about that is, as a Gemini, you're an air sign, right? So it makes sense that you would thrive up amongst the clouds in the air. But the whale representing, heart chakra energy, it's like a Queen of Cups energy where it's deeply emotional. Feeling things incredibly profoundly, very intuitive, thinking of others before yourselves, being very humanitarian minded. It's Pisces energy, right? So I'm hearing that for you during this time period, if you're feeling center, if your heart feels too heavy, if you are feeling like, you just are feeling the weight of the world just a little bit too much at certain times, I'm hearing to let yourself be lightened up in whatever form that takes, right? I do feel like an aspect of this is asking for help. I do. I feel like an aspect, and this is in your reading as well. I do feel like there's an aspect of this that goes not just asking for help, but accepting it. Even if you don't ask for it and it's offered, accepting that help, allowing yourself to be lifted up, and feeling like the best version of yourself as a result of doing so. It does feel a bit heavy, but I think where maybe you're focused on, or you think you're going to go, or where you've always been, there's another opportunity or an option for you that I think is going to be offered. This could be a job. This could be a shift in a relationship dynamic. This could be, a lot of different stuff. But I feel like don't be so quick to discount something just because it looks different, or it comes in a different form, or at a time that doesn't really suit your vision of what how you thought it would go. Be open, because I feel like this is the universe coming in. I'm seeing that funny story where it's like the guy is on the boat, and his boat is sinking, and he says, "Okay, God, come and save me." And then someone comes by in a boat and says, "Hey, do you want to lift? Your boat is sinking." He goes, "No, God will save me." And then someone else comes by in a plane and shouts down below, "Hey, you want me to put down the ladder? Your boat is sinking." No, God will save me. And then the boat sinks, and gets in front of God and says, you likely know this one, but says like, "Hey, God, why didn't you save me?" He's like, "Are you joking? I sent a boat and a plane." Right? I feel like that's you in the boat, and there's an aspect of something that feels like it's sinking for you. Um, and this could be emotionally, or this could be in terms of behavior. It could be a work environment. It could be a relationship. But there's something in your mental house that feels like it wants to lighten up. And I feel like there are going to be some opportunities that come by for you. I'm hearing not to discount them. See them as the opportunities that they are, even if and especially if they look a little bit different, or would require you to come out of your comfort zone in some way, because there's something coming. Think about how many times you've heard someone say, like, "I never would have seen that for myself, but I'm so happy that I went in that direction." It's something like that. So you're coming through as the phoenix for this time period, which is so perfect. So this circle represents spirit. So this is the equivalent of a major arcana within this animal spirit deck, which speaks of fated and destined events, right? So the phoenix is about death and rebirth. It's about rising. It's about dying. Think about that imagery from the meditation of dying, ice, frozen, going, sinking, submerging underneath, right? But instead being lifted up, flying up into the ether, being reborn again, and flying off into the air, right? It's interesting. With Phoenix, also, we can look at this as like a death key energy transformation, but it also has some Six of Swords energy in it as well, which speaks of happy transitions, moving. And I feel like that is the keyword for you, Gemini, during this time is transition. Transition feels like a big word. That Six of Swords is actually, as an air sign, like we know that the sword suit can be a bit tricky, a bit with the pointy end, but I feel like with the Six of Swords, it's my personal favorite because it really speaks of the all elusive inner peace. It can be so difficult for us air signs to happen upon because our minds are such active places, right? It's our best friend and our worst enemy all wrapped up in one, right? So for you, Six of Swords, this death, this transformation, this lifting up, this going into a new chapter. I feel like there's something in your situation that wants to be rerouted, but in a way that is going to be incredibly positive. This could be a small change that elicits big results, right? This could be something small that really creates a much happier mental landscape for you. It could be actually moving somewhere else. It could be taking on a different responsibility within the line of work that you do. It could be a shift in a relationship where things are a little bit more, evenly divvied up depending on what the dynamic is. It just feels like there's a shift that wants to happen that is so incredibly positive. I'm hearing not to overthink your way out of it. Now, you're coming through as the Six of Cups. Now, this is really interesting because this is also a theme. So, six, we have the Six of Swords, Six of Cups, right? And then we have another six over here, Six of Earth, as well as your outcome. Now, Six of Cups is the past, it's nostalgia, it's remembering things in a better or worse light than it actually happened. It's about what is illusion and what is reality, right? This also speaks of childhood and the way that we, as children, are able to just be completely present in a given moment and approach the world from a place of curiosity and not fear, right? Children do not overthink things. And being a Gemini, I know that you understand what it's like to have a very active, overly active mind palace, right? But this is sort of the opposite of that. I feel like there's something about, you see how the roots are going below and the trees going above? That image of that whale thinking that it belongs here, but really coming and it belongs in the stars and the moon because actually it's an air whale. Like that's what this feels like, right? So there's something about this, the fact that you're coming in this way where there is a call to the past or memory or past experiences. It really feels like there's a heaviness in your emotional core that's coming through here that really wants to be lightened up. Okay. Look at how messy this looks. I kind of want to braid these all into a single strand, but this is very uniform going upward, right? There's something about that for you. There's something about that and a call to get grounded as well. But there's also this emotional healing that wants to happen. I'm seeing a hand reaching out and offering help. Maybe just keep that in mind. I don't know if you can hear that crow cawing, but it is a cawing outside the window. As I said that. So, in your place of challenges, you have the Seven of Wands. Now, this is an interesting energy, interesting with the fire here as well. The Seven of Wands, I always hear that John Mayer song in my head whenever I pull this key. It's I'm bigger than my body gives me credit for. And it really is that energy of knowing that you will overcome and surmount whatever obstacles or challenges that you're facing, knowing it, right? Now, the wands rule the actions that we do or don't take around our soul purpose, right? So it's sometimes when this comes up, and I feel like in this context, it's coming up in your place of challenge. How aligned do you feel in your soul in terms of how you're spending your time? Does it set your soul on fire in a good way? Right? Or is it dimming that flame that exists within you, right? I do truly believe that we're all here for a reason and a specific purpose. Sometimes we have more than one purpose, right? It exists under the umbrella of a larger purpose. But when you are doing work or in relationships or even volunteering, whatever, however, this is how you spend your time, right? When you are spending your time, at least a portion of it, in a way that serves your soul, lights it on fire and makes you feel like you have all the energy in the world and like, you're living your life, living your best life, that's because at least part of your time is spent in service to your soul purpose, right? Why you're here, your unique signature. So I feel like the question coming forward is how much of your time is spent doing those things and with people that elicit that feeling within you? Can you rearrange it? Can you look at that? Right? I think there could be a shift in perspective around this as well that has to do with your past. I feel like there's a way of thinking about the world that could use a little bit of examination. In your place of advice, you have the moon, which is your only major arcana here in the body, which is interesting. This is Pisces energy. This speaks of the unknown. It speaks of, that manic energy, a little bit of like moonlight, moonlit mania, psychic energy. But when this is coming up in your place of advice, this is saying really tap into, I want to take this literally actually and go tap into your moon sign. What is your moon sign? Your moon sign governs your emotional self, your emotional body, how you love, how you hurt, right? So I feel like for you and your advice, really take the time, take a look at what your moon sign is, and then put a little bit of research and time into ascertaining what does your particular moon sign need to feel good and safe and nurtured in this world? How can you get those needs met with and for yourself during this time? Little bit of fun homework for you, Gemini. I feel like it's going to be incredibly revealing. But also, allow yourself to walk the path of the unknown and be surprised by the result. That is the advice of the moon sign. Okay. Now, in your place of victory, you have Seven of Pentacles. Fascinating. Seven of Pentacles is about planting seeds and trusting that they're going to bear fruit. This is about putting in the time and the work and the effort towards something that you won't necessarily see the results of immediately, right? But it's about that consistent, persistent effort, right? It's very Capricorn energy for me. So within this, the fact that this is coming up as your victory, why do I feel like this is you stacking one seed of progress on top of the other? Slow but steady and consistent effort. Remember, the pentacles rule our physical experience, right? Our physical bodies, our health, the home that we live in, the work that we do. Maybe taking some inventory around that and thinking, where do you want to be this time next year? And then think about the energy of the Seven of Pentacles. What seeds could you plant during this harvest season that we're entering into that could bear some beautiful fruit for you this time next year? What do you want that to look like? Right? Now's the time. This is the season to do it right now, right? Even if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're going from Imbolc to spring equinox, it's a similar but different energy, right? It's a counter but similar energy. Really think about that right now. And the fact that it's your place of victory, sometimes just knowing what seeds that we want to plant that give us that flame of excitement can be enough to get us to where we're going. Can really allow for a positive shift in our mental, the way that we think about things. Have you had an idea? Have you had a source of inspiration? Let yourself daydream, right? What if? Magic if thinking, right? What if I spent my time doing this? What if I had all the time and money in the world? What if I, what if? What if I lived in a house that was like this? What if I lived near here? What if I had this relationship? What if I felt like this at work? Allow your mind to dance in that way, okay? It's going to elicit some beautiful realizations and inspirations too as well. So for your outcome here, you're the Six of Earth. Beautiful. Six of Pentacles. So this speaks of give and take, reciprocity, balance, but this also speaks of making the most of your resources as well, right? See that water going down to the crow here and all this water like feeding the hummingbirds. I really feel like I see the scales here from Egyptian mythologies. It's coming into my mind's eye of your heart is on one side of the scale and a feather is on the other. It's that heaviness, right? Is your heart heavier than a feather, right? And really balancing that for yourself, really understanding there's a lightness. I keep seeing that whale rising up into the air. What is that lightness of being? What makes you feel light? What makes your heart feel light? There's something about that wants to come through for you. And it does feel like it's related to not just your ability to enjoy your life to the maximum extent, but it feels tied to your soul purpose. It does. I feel like there's something that makes your soul sing that you could either commit more time to or imagine or reconsider the form it takes. Okay. That idea of the whale trying to get through the ice, I feel like is the same thing of you knocking on the same door expecting it to open. You're shoving it hard with your shoulder, but it's not eliciting the same feel good or the same result that it either used to or that you think that it should. You might think that there's just one path for you or one way of going and no other way out, but there's something else coming through in the form of opportunity. I keep seeing that hand coming out that could lead to a huge transformation for you if only you're able to identify it for what it is and also accept it. So your oracle here, we have a Lammas and a Mabon oracle. Your Lammas oracle here, 2, bird feeder, birds being an imagery here. Beautiful. Every tiny action taken in the pursuit of growth is a powerful step in the right direction. This is lining up beautifully with your 7 of Pentacles. Even small seeds, allowing yourself to think magically, right? Magical thinking is the key here, Gemini. To that and measure it up against like how heavy or light your heart feels when you think about it, right? Even small steps are going to lead to a big bounty. It's just about making the effort and time to do so. Look how she's reading a book and there's a picture of a crescent moon there as well. I feel like you're being called to imagine something outside of the realm of what you think is realistically possible. Magical thinking, right? For your Maven Oracle, fascinating, number 22. So you have a 2, 2, 2, really interesting. You also have 2 sevens here as well. And you've got 2 sixes. You've got it, so pairing, 2, doubles, partnership, definitely a theme here. So haunted house, 22. The things that haunt you are the things you have yet to let go of. Hello and goodbye and hello again. The things that haunt you are the things you have yet to let go of. Now, if that is not 6 of Cups energy, I don't know what is. Why do I feel like this has to do with whatever is making your heart heavy? I'm really drawn to this fox energy here. Another candle flame here as well. I'm really drawn to this fox energy here. Foxes are magician energy, but they can also represent deception or times in which you learn to distrust yourself and your own judgment. There's something about renewing your faith in the world of what's really possible. Maybe this is how you're looking at the world right now and you're not seeing a lot of reason for hope. But there's something about this. The things that haunt you are the things you have yet to let go of. I feel like this is directly speaking to the past, but also aspects of you that have been hurt or learned some hard lessons in some way that are keeping you from magical thinking, that are keeping you from dreaming big, that are keeping you from getting excited about these 7 pentacles that are here for you and just waiting for you to sow them. So some heart healing, some shadow work could definitely be in store for you. It's going to lead to that death, 6 of Swords, Phoenix rising from the ashes, a whole new, transformed, fully realized version of yourself that is pure flame, pure purpose, pure fire, pure magic. It's beautiful. Anything that gets you excited to wake up in the morning and gets you excited about what actions to take around it, gets you in a positive mind frame, makes your heart feel light, that is the key. That is the key, Gemini. That feels like huge for you in a way. Remember, it's tiny seeds that you can sow now that are going to yield big results. And again, I keep seeing that hand coming in to offer you help or another way. Be on the lookout for that and set that intention, right? Magical thinking, your personal Phoenix moment. What is that? Because it feels a little bit heavy. How can we breathe some fire onto it? Not only lighten it up, but enliven it. Feels really, really beautiful, Gemini. So allow yourself to also experience that heart healing as it comes. Sometimes it can be, we can go about it in an indirect way as well. For example, like if we feel that way, but we don't know how to approach it or we don't want to, take direct steps around it. Sometimes it can just be, I feel like you need a catharsis. Like sometimes it can be helpful to just watch a movie that allows you to cry. I know that sounds a bit like, oh, okay, great. Like telling an air sign, like just go cry. It's like, oh God. But really, again, back to your moon sign, really tapping into that emotional core and giving it a point of catharsis. That feels like that is the transformation as well. I'm hearing catharsis, 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 right? By watching a movie that allows you to experience that catharsis, you're able to project your own feelings onto what you're watching. And it's just a bit of like I don't want to like downplay it, but it's like a training wheel version of dealing with your own emotions directly. It can help. It can help just break the dam a little bit and open things up. Okay. So just keep that in mind, my beautiful Gemini. So, with that being said, I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, let me know in the comments below. I love chatting with y'all in the comments. Let me know what's going on. Um, Also, remember to, subscribe, hit the like button, all the things I usually forget to say at the end of a video. I'd so appreciate it. And yeah, just thank you guys so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, my beautiful Geminis, I'm wishing you a very happy Lammas and Maven season, many happy harvests. And as always, thank you for being you and be well. Until next time.